As a manager, your one-on-one meetings with your direct reports are effectively the glue in your management playbook. But unfortunately, a lot of managers struggle with these one-on-one meetings, and these are due to a number of reasons. The first one is a lack of structure, because a lot of these meetings that take place don't have any formal agenda or anything that needs to be discussed, and it really happens where on the fly we're deciding what needs to be discussed and the things that need to be addressed. But all that happens in that case is that it leads to unproductive discussions. The second is infrequent scheduling. In this case, meetings are not held regularly, which causes delays in addressing issues that are taking place, as well as missed opportunities for providing feedback. The third is poor preparation. Both managers and employees come unprepared to these meetings, which really results in an inefficient use of their time. Lastly is a lack of follow-up, because what's discussed in those meetings doesn't have any follow-through, and as a result, there's no accountability for the measures that are discussed in those meetings. So you see, the best managers recognize these one-on-ones are not an add-on to their role, but they are the foundation for it. So in today's video, I'm going to share 4 insights that were inspired from the book, Glad We Met, The Art and Science of One-to-One Meetings. The first is cadence, and this is really deciding how often you're meeting with your direct reports. And this comes down to a number of factors, such as the level of seniority in your team, whether you are a new manager to the team, how large your team is, where you all are located, whether you are remote or in person. When it comes down to the level of seniority in your team, of course, if you have junior team members on your team, you want to be meeting more regularly, so weekly is generally recommended. The more senior a member of your team is, then chances are that you could probably space that out over 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. If you are new to the team, then you really want to ensure that you're meeting with your team on a weekly basis. And this is really to ensure that you're establishing relationships with the members on your team. If you have a large team, then it's not feasible for you to be meeting on a weekly basis, so you want to be able to space these out over a period of time. If your team is remote, then you want to be meeting on a weekly basis. And this is really to counter the lack of spontaneous conversations that generally happen when you're all located in the same office. In addition, you want to be giving the opportunity for your team members to also decide and ask them what their preferences are, so that they have a voice in the decision at the end of the day. Second is ensuring that you have an agenda in these meetings. You see, having an agenda is a strong predictor on the effectiveness of the meeting. But more important is ensuring that your staff member has an involvement in the agenda's creation. Ask them for their input, ask them what they would like to discuss in these meetings. And this could be as simple as having a list of topics that you're discussing in the meeting, or you create an agenda based on some broad questions, such as what would you like to talk about today? How are things going on with you and your team? What are your current priorities? Or is there any way that I can better support you? Now, of course, these are just some suggested questions and you can add to it, but the key thing to take away is ensuring that this agenda isn't simply dictated by you as their manager. Thirdly, when it comes to the actual meeting itself, here are a couple of things that you want to keep in mind. First is to set the right tone in the meeting. You want to ensure that you are completely present and you turn off all notifications on your phone or on your laptop and ensure that they have your undivided attention. The second is to listen more than you talk. Ensure that you're spending less time talking and you're listening actively to what they're saying. And really, you want to be able to employ genuine interest in what they're saying and don't apply any judgment to what they're saying. Of course, you'll be given moments to contribute, and when you do, ensure that you're giving direct and honest feedback. Be flexible and ensure the conversations really moves organically, and don't be too rigid in ensuring that you stick into each of the items. But what you want to ensure is that you are addressing the critical items in that meeting and not simply skipping over them. And lastly, you want to ensure that you end well. Clarify any takeaways or action items from both sides, including how you will support them on any of those action steps. So at the end of the meeting, you want to ensure that both you and your direct report walk away from the conversation feeling valued, respected, well-informed, with clarity about next steps on each of the projects, solutions to problems, and commitments that both you and them have made. What you can also do is survey your team and ask them what's going well with the one-on-ones, what is not going well, and do you have any ideas for improving them? Because ultimately, what you want to ensure is that you are improving over time. Asking them for their input and asking them on how you can improve will help you to build a stronger, trusting relationship with you and your direct reports. Running effective one-on-one meetings can help boost your team's performance, retain the critical talent on your team, and help each member to grow and achieve against the goals that they have for their career. So I hope this video has been useful for you to help you to run more effective one-on-one meetings. And if it has, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone that can get value from it. As always, I'll see you in the next video.